Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's lesson. We're going to talk about how to write a really great radio play. So let's get started. In case you were trying to remember, a radio play is storytelling, except instead of watching it, you're going to be listening to it like you would on the radio. Instead of images, you're going to rely on characters having dialogue, music, and other sound effects so that your audience can imagine the story as they're listening. There are some mistakes that people make when they're thinking about their radio plays. Sometimes we just have too many characters, and when we have too many, it's hard for the audience to follow along and remember who was who and who did what. Another problem is that you're choosing to write about too many experiences rather than just focusing in on one key experience. Oftentimes, writers forget that a character should change. There should be a clear before and then an after, and something that causes that change. And the last thing, for our purposes, we're still trying to remind ourselves about that inclusion focus because we want a message that is about including all learners, all people, all styles of living. So don't forget about that one as well. Where do we begin? One thing to think about is instead of having too many experiences, think of one thing your character is going to learn. It can be something great or small. But remember, what the character was like before the experience should be different than what the character was after that experience. Let's think about an example where this might take place. So, before someone moves cities or moves to a new town or moves to a new school, they might be really worried. Like in this one, Lauren is really worried about moving because there's going to be friends that are lost, no more familiarity, and having to start everything all over again. But maybe by the end of the story, Lauren realizes that moving can actually be a good thing. Maybe you can make new friends, learn about a different place, go to a new shop, try a new restaurant. And so inside of that, there's this so what? There's the message. And that's really important because we don't want fear to influence our choices or our willingness to try something new. And in this story, Lauren experiencing a move allowed her to overcome this fear. So these two images can show a clear difference. What was Helen like before and after she worked with Annie Sullivan? Let's pause for a moment and think about how we would describe the black and white image with Helen. Now, let's compare that to Helen and Annie at the end of the story. What did Helen experience that allowed her to make such a radical change? So, really, if you want to have a good radio play, you need to be able to have a clear before and then a new after. You're going to want to show emotion in your radio play. You're going to want to have scenes that are really focused. You can't show every moment of the whole day for a character, but you can pick out certain scenes that are important to you. And you want to use sound effects as much as possible because that will help the radio play come to life. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed.